All right, in this video, we're going to talk about some examples of the things we've looked at. But first, we're going to talk about something called bias. So samples can vary in how well that they tell you about what the general consensus is of the population based on the bias that you have. So a sample always has a bias when a part of the population is overrepresented or underrepresented. And so a bias is a systematic error that's introduced by whatever sampling method you choose. So for instance, if I were to survey the students who drive a vehicle to school, and I only survey the freshmen, then the ninth graders, the freshmen that are located at the school, then most freshmen do not drive vehicles yet because they're not old enough. So that means the population of people who do drive a vehicle to school would be underrepresented. So therefore, I have a bias to that sampling method, okay? So let's look at some examples and see here what we've got. A newspaper wants to find out what percent of the city population favors a property tax increase to raise money for local parks. What is the sampling method used for each situation? Now remember, sampling method are these four that we listed here: convenience, self-selected, systematic, and random. So let's look at our choices. A newspaper article on the tax increase invites readers to call the paper and express their opinion. So that would be they volunteer for the sample. That means it's a self-selected. So that's our sampling method. It is self-selected. Does the sample have a bias? Well, it does, because only those people who have a strong opinion about the tax increase are going to call in and respond. So yes, bias. Those with strong opinions will respond. Okay, what about a reporter interviews people leaving the city's largest park? Okay, so they're standing there and they're just getting people as they leave the park. That's what we consider a convenience sample. It's convenient because they're getting them as they come out of the park. Now, in that instance, then remember, we're looking at a property tax increase to raise money for local parks. So if they're coming from a park, then that means they enjoy the park and they're a park supporter. So this one has a bias because it overrepresents park supporters because they're standing at the park as they come out. Okay, the last one. A survey service calls every 50th listing from the local phone book. So that means that's a systematic. There's some kind of system that they've come up with that they're going to use in order to be able to do their sampling. So that's systematic. And this one also creates a bias because what if they have an unlisted phone number? So someone may have an unlisted number. So that one presents a bias as well. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, let me know.